Hello everyone. We are starting our tutorial from today, and we are looking at tutorial on optimal portfolio choice and capital asset pricing model. So this is going to be our first tutorial, and this is a question. Consider a portfolio consisting of the following three stocks. We have HEC, GM, and AW with their respective weight, volatility, and then correlation with the markets. So let's look at the follow-up question. The first question, okay, so they said the volatility of the market is 10% and it has an expected return of 8%. The risk-free rate is 3%. The first question is compute the beta and expected return of each stock. B, using your answer from part A, calculate the expected return of the portfolio. What is the beta? What is the beta of each portfolio? All right, and let's look at the C part. And the C part is using your answer from part C, calculate the expected return of the portfolio and verify that it matches with your answer in part B. All right, so let's start. So the first part is what we've been asked to compute the beta. Now, what's the formula for beta? Beta is equals to covariance of return on I and that return on the market all over the variance of the market. Great. So first of all, I'm going to look for which is the same as correlation of I and the market multiplied by the volatility of the I security I and the volatility of the market all over the variance of the market. So I can see this can cancel this. Then beta is equals to correlation between I and M multiplied by the volatility of the stock I and then volatility of the market. So if I'm looking for the beta of HEC, beta of HEC, then it is beta of HEC is equals to the correlation which was given as 0.4 multiplied by the volatility was given as 0.12 and the volatility of the market which was given as 0.1 in the question. And that gives you 0.48. So the beta of HE is 0.48. Great. So the next one is beta of JM. So we are looking for the beta of JM, the second stock, which is also equal to the correlation was given at 0.6 multiplied by 0.25, which is all over the volatility of the market was given at 0.1, and that also gives you 1.5. And the beta of the third stock, which is E and W, which was also given as 0.5 times 0.13 all over 0.1, and that also gives you 0.65. So that's for the beta of the three. Now the second one is what to calculate for the expected return. Now the expected return, we're going to use the formula, the Captain for it is R on I is equals to RF plus beta multiplied by RM minus RF. So if I'm looking for return on HEC, then that is equals to RF. RF was given us 3% plus the beta we got at 0.48 multiplied by RM was given us 8% in the question, and the RF is 3%. So that gives you 5.4%. And the next one that I'm looking for is R of what? GM. It is also the same as 3% plus the volatility, which we know to be 1.5, multiplied by RM, which is 8 minus 3, and that also gives you 8 minus 3, and that also gives you 10.5%. That also gives you 10.5%. Okay, great. So the next one that we are looking for is the return on A and W. A and W, which also equals to 3% plus the beta we got to be what, 0.65, going into bracket RM, which was 8% minus 3%, and that also gives you 6.25%. So that is for the A part. Now the B part was the B part. Let's look at the B part again. The B part is using your answer from part A, calculate the expected return of the portfolio. So the expected return of the portfolio. So expected return of the portfolio is equals to summation of I equals to 1 up to the n assets, then the weight of I multiplied by the return on I. So in our case, we have 3 assets and we know their respective weights. So I have the first one being 0.25 multiplied by 5.4 that we got as the expected return, plus the next weight was also 0.35 multiplied by 10.5 plus 0.4, and then you multiply by 6.25, and that also gives us 7.525. Yeah. So this is the expected return on the portfolio. So the next question is to compute the beta of the portfolio. So the beta of the portfolio. So beta of portfolio is also equal to summation of I equals to 1 n, then beta of I multiplied by the weight on I. So the beta of the portfolio in this case is equals to 0.25 multiplied by 0.48, which is the beta when you computed in the first place, and then 0.35 multiplied by 1.5 that we have also computed already from the first question, plus 0.4 multiplied by 0.65. So the beta of the portfolio in this case is now equals to 0.905. Great. So the next question is, using your answer from part C, calculate expected return of the portfolio and verify that it matches with your answer in part B. Okay, so let's do this again. Now we've gotten the beta divided by 5. So if I'm looking for the return on the portfolio, the same as what? RF plus beta of the portfolio multiplied by RM minus RF. Now RP is equals to 3% plus beta of the portfolio, which we got to be 0.905, and then we had RM to be what? 8%, RM to be 10%, RE to be 10%. Okay, so in the question, the expected return was given as what 8%, but not 10%. So then bracket 8 minus 3, and this RP equals to what? 7.525. And when you compare this one to the case where we use then user betas to compute, we also have 7.25, which is exactly the same as this one. Thank you.